Hey guys, it's Paul here, back again with another video. Today I'm going to be showing you the speed paint process for the final chapter cover, as well as answering a number of questions I've been getting via the story feature on my Instagram page. If you guys want to participate in the next Q&A, feel free to find me on Instagram. I've left the link to my page down below. Now, before we begin guys, I've made a functioning Patreon page, and if you'd like to be part of all future Rising Fist projects and have your name featured at the end of every single video moving forward, including the finale of the Dragonball Rise Volume 1 story, do consider becoming a patron. The lowest tier is only $1 a month, and it really goes a long way to help make these stories possible. Once we have more of you guys on there, there'll be a lot more exclusive downloadable content which will not be available anywhere else. This will include the complete HD ebook of the Dragonball Rise Volume 1 story when it's complete, exclusive HD poster quality artwork, Patreon exclusive prize raffles, and so on. And as a token of my appreciation, every single new patron will get a shout out via my Instagram page as well. So if you want to become a patron today, please do, and I will leave a link to that down below. You know, all the same, I do appreciate every single one of you that subscribe to the channel and every single one of you viewing this video and my videos in general. I really do have the best and most supportive supporters in the world. It's crazy to see how positive you guys are with the content we've been putting out on this channel. So thank you so much to every single one of you for watching these videos. And yeah, without further ado, let's get on to the questions. Alright, so we have almost 100 questions here, so I'm going to try to see if I can see any repeats. I'll skip them, otherwise I'll just answer as best I can off the cuff. So, question number 1. What inspired you to make Dragon Ball Rise? Well, actually, I was a fan of a lot of other sort of Instagram-based Dragon Ball artists for quite some time before I decided to try it myself. I wanted to create something that had a lot of emotion in it, that was driven by some loss of some kind. And I was going through the Dragon Ball sagas in my mind to see, hey, you know, what story can I retell? And when was Dragon Ball Z at its absolute peak? So when I put those thoughts together, I decided that the Cell Saga was truly when Dragon Ball Z was at its very, very best, both in terms of story and in terms of how complex the characters got. So that's why I decided that I would want to tell an alternate story of the Cell games. And of course this question comes up as well. So this question reads, when is the final chapter of Dragon Ball Rise Volume 1 going to be out? Now, I wish I could give you guys a clear answer to this question, but the truth is I really can't estimate exactly when it's going to be out. What I will say is that I'm working on this project as much as I humanly can, but I want to give you guys the best quality result possible as well. If I was to give you guys a time estimate, I'd probably say around a month and a bit from now. Yeah, that would be about right, I think. So this next question reads, did you expect the Dragon Ball Rise fan manga to blow up the way that it has, and are you happy that it did? To that I will say, I did not expect it to blow up the way that it did at all. I think now it's at 2.2 million views across YouTube, and wow, I've actually met so many new people and have connected with so many of you guys that I can't even imagine what it was like before I started making this fan manga. Thank you guys so much, yeah, for supporting the content, sheesh. So the next question now reads, how long has it taken you to get to the point in the story where you are now? That's a simple answer. I would say it's taken about 3 months. Yeah. Now this one is an interesting power scaling question, which I think that I can answer and not anger a lot of you guys. And it reads, is Goku Super Saiyan 2 stronger than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? I will reply with this. The way that I see it, and it's stated many times in the official canon, that Gohan has the most hidden potential of any of the Z fighters. That includes Goku. Goku to me is a kind of fighter that gains strength over time, but he doesn't explode in power the way that Gohan does, at least in the entire Z saga. So Super Saiyan 2 Gohan would be stronger. So this next question is regarding plans for the future, and it reads, do you plan on going past the Cell arc going into the Majin Buu arc? The question is absolutely yes. I think a lot of you guys want to see that, so I definitely will delve into that story once we wrap up this first volume of Dragon Ball Rise. Yes, I will be doing that. But I think that before that, we'll do a spattering of sort of shorter stories that exist within Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. We'll see what we do. But yeah, to answer that question, yes, I will be doing that, but also I'll be giving you guys a few short stories that exist within the Dragon Ball Super and Dragon Ball Z universes respectively before we delve into another long-term project. So this next question kind of elaborates on the previous one, and it says, if you were to do a retelling of the Majin Buu saga, what changes would you make? That's a very, very good question, and I think that the main issue of the Majin Buu saga would be that Buu was never the same person throughout the arc. Yes, he did change in form, but he also changed in personality, which I think is probably the main flaw of the entire arc. We were never able to latch on to Majin Buu's personality and say, yes, this is who Majin Buu is as a person. If we compare him to past Dragon Ball Z villains like Frieza and Cell changed forms many, many times, but their personalities, the core of what made them who they were, those things remained the same. And I think that's what the Majin Buu saga lacked. And so if I was to go back and tackle that saga and rewrite it the way that I would make it so that Majin Buu was the same person throughout the entire arc. So the next question reads, what were your thoughts when you started writing and drawing Dragon Ball Rise? What were the goals that you had? To that I would say I had a couple of Dragon Ball artists and manga authors that I had my eyes on. One would be Lady Tygry, the author of Dragon Ball Unguarded, and the other would be XX Crimson XX, the author of Dragon Ball Xenoverse, the Zabieru Chronicles. Those two, to me, stand out in their own way. Dragon Ball Unguarded covers the story of the origin of Frieza. It really, I think it's the only fan manga in the fandom which really fleshes out the characters in such a deep way, where you understand what made the characters the way that they were. You can see characters in that story like Frieza and Cooler and King Cold, and even Frieza's mother really come to life. And that was one of my inspirations for capturing emotion in my own story. The second fan manga which I referenced, XX Crimson XX's Zabieru Chronicles, that one is just completely action-packed. If you guys don't really mind not having as much story and you just want a manga that focuses on just relentless action, check them out. So to answer the question again fully, I wanted to have a combination of those two things, action and of course the raw emotion that would drive the story forward. And I do believe that with Dragon Ball Rise we have a nice balance of those two things. Now, this next question is super interesting, and it says, would you cover a story outside of the Dragon Ball universe, i.e. My Hero Academia, Hunter x Hunter, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, One Piece, and so on? To that I would say absolutely yes, I would consider doing that. That is, if you guys want to see that out of me. What I do really depends on what you guys like, so do let me know in the comments below what franchise you would like me to cover, what franchise you would like to see a what-if story on, and I will definitely consider that, so comment down below. So this one is a very interesting question which I actually haven't answered publicly before, and that is, why did you call the story Dragon Ball Rise as opposed to something else? There are two main reasons that I called it Dragon Ball Rise. The first being that, Dragon Ball Z is all about rising and surpassing your limits, right? Rising beyond every threat that you may face and every limitation that you may have, and crushing them. Right, so that was the first reason for the name, and the second, of course, is that my Instagram and YouTube handle itself is Rising Fist. So I think the pieces really fit together quite nicely, and yeah, there you go, Dragon Ball Rise. There it is. So the next question reads, where did you get the idea for this Dragon Ball story? Well, to that I will say, I think most of us thought that Gohan could have easily, caved under the pressure and succumbed to his fears, to his weakness, to his pacifism. And so I think that because so many people thought that it could have gone either way, it really just prompted me to say, hey, what if Gohan actually failed? What would have happened? And so yeah, that was really where the idea started, and it kind of evolved into something, into a story all on its own as time went on. So this next question is about Chapter 3 itself, and it asks, how did Cell regenerate from Vegeta's final flash? Well, it's the same reason as what we got in Dragon Ball Z. Cell, unbeknownst to the rest of the Z Warriors, is able to regenerate himself completely if a single cell survives. And Vegeta, he kind of looked at Cell and said, well, I don't need to put out that much energy. I don't need to exhaust myself with this final flash. I just need to let out enough energy to blow this guy to smithereens. But he didn't know that Cell could regenerate from a single living cell, so that's how he survived. Alright, so the next question. Which chapter was your favorite chapter to draw up till now? I would have to say the most fun I've had with the story so far was with the latest chapter, Chapter 3. It just, I love Vegeta. I am Team Vegeta till the day I die, so to give Vegeta at least a small win, and to draw him just wrecking the crap out of Cell. That was a lot of fun for me, so I'd have to say Chapter 3. Next question is more of a personal one, and it asks, what's your favorite dog? My favorite dog breed, let's see. I'd probably say a pug. I like pugs, they're cute. I've never had one. I have a dog, which is not a pug. But yeah, I like pugs. Maybe one day I'll have one. So the next question actually is answered by the visual you see behind you, and it reads, is there going to be a father-son Kamehameha in this retelling of the Cell games? I will say, well, yes, there will be. But as in classic Rising Fist fashion, it won't quite go as you think. So yes, there will be. So the next question reads, can you make Vegeta recover and Goku beat Cell with a team-up like in the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie? That would be cool, wouldn't it? I have a slightly different idea as to what will happen. But in Chapter 3, Vegeta was shot through the chest, yes, but I didn't say that he was dead, so maybe he might come back. Who knows? Oh, so this next one says, just want to say that you are brilliant. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, Kareem. Alright, next question. Do you think Future Gohan is underrated? Ooh, absolutely. Future Gohan is a badass. I think that we've never seen such an alpha version of Gohan before that had a good combination of wits, strength, empathy. Future Gohan's a badass, so yes, I would say he is underrated. He should be explored more in the Dragon Ball fandom. Alright, this is a question about Chapter 4, and it reads, will Goku get more ruthless since Vegeta got killed by Cell? Yes, Vegeta's down and it seems like he's out for good, but yes, Goku is absolutely pissed right now, and he is going to make Cell bleed if he can. This next question is by Ricardo Neves, and it reads, what is the hardest panel or the one that took you the longest time? Hardest panel, I would say, is probably the one where Goku kicks Cell at the back of the neck in Chapter 2. That would be the one that probably took the longest and took the most planning. But I would say that the hardest illustration in general to do would probably be the final chapter cover, which you're seeing right now. It's probably the most fun as well. So this next question is from YUN54. If you were hired by Toei Animation to work on Dragon Ball Super 2, where would you take the story? Interesting question. I would say that I would like to see more involvement from the gods of destruction of all the separate universes. Where did they come from? Were they mortals before, or were they always gods? I kind of want to know what the situation is there. Okay, so the next question reads, how many of these Dragon Ball stories do you plan to make in the future? It's hard to say at this point. I want to get through this one, so I kind of take one day at a time. But I will make as many as you guys want, depending on how interested you guys are in Dragon Ball stories. If you guys want to see a story from a different franchise, do let me know, comment below as well if you guys want to see that. But yeah, the only plan that I have right now is to finish this current story. And this next question reads, do you think Broly is going to be part of the Dragon Ball Super manga anytime soon? Yes, I would suspect that he would be because of how popular he is. I think that Moro is a great villain to have our attention in the meantime, but in the advent of the Broly movie release, I think that a lot of people now love Broly, especially this new version of Broly as a character. It would be a waste if he wasn't included in the Dragon Ball Super manga coming up. So yes, I think he will. Alright, so which is the hardest part to draw throughout the series so far? I've answered part of this question before, but I would say that any scene with Cell's full body in it is hard to draw because dude is so spotty, man. I swear to God, when I walk about the street and I just go about my regular things, I see spots everywhere now. It's terrible. So the next question is, are you an epic gamer? I haven't really played a real game in quite some time, unless Pokemon Go counts. I haven't really played any games in quite a while, so I'd say no. Okay, so the next question reads, is Goku going to use some kind of new attack against Cell in this final chapter? To that I would say, the first part of the final chapter is actually mostly action, so you'll see Goku do a bunch of cool things then. But the way that it ends, well, it'll end in epic climactic Dragon Ball Z fashion, so you'll have to wait and see. The next question reads, it's more of a personal one, how long have you done artwork like your mangas? In terms of drawing comics itself, this is actually my very, very first comic that I've ever drawn in my life, really. But as far as artwork and drawing goes, I've been drawing for about 20 years. So this next question is, how do you start off a good manga project because you've made one of the best ones of all? Thank you so much for that. It's very kind of you to say. To that I would say that you should look to people who are much more experienced than you as a writer or as an artist, and just seek their counsel and maybe show them your story and say, hey, how can I flesh this out better? Or does the story flow organically? Do the characters seem stilted? You want to ask these questions, and yeah, if you have a good storytelling community around you, why not use it, right? So there you go. So the next question is, would you want any help with your future stories? As far as writing goes, I tend to just do these things by myself. I have a good archive of different scenarios in my mind already. I do read a fair bit these days as well, and I know the franchise very, very well. So I think that in terms of writing, probably not, but in terms of artwork generation, if you're an artist and you're watching this, I would like to enlist your help if you are free for future projects. But yes, definitely some help would be appreciated. Being a one-man band is not always the easiest thing, so yes, help would be more than welcome. So this question reads, check out Expert Games on YouTube. He narrates awesome Dragon Ball stories, and he also did yours. Yes, I know of Expert Games. He and I are acquainted. He knows who I am. I believe that Expert Games is from Australia, and I'm from New Zealand, so yeah, he's a cool guy. I also got other YouTube friends like Unreal Ent Gaming and Blackscape as well. So yeah, I've made some cool friends in this community, so I'm very glad to have those people in my corner. Okay, so this next question is from Robert Avila 3. I look every day on Instagram for any updates on Dragon Ball Rise. It's such a good story. Thank you so much, Robert. Alright, next question. Will Piccolo or Trunks or anybody have any impact on anything? Wow, that's a very, very good question, David Hamilton. Yes, they will. I think in this final chapter, everybody will have a piece of Cell in this final hurrah. It'll be an ending that we all want, I guarantee. Alright, let's take one final question. Are you planning on having the people dub your comic on YouTube? New follower, by the way. Thank you so much, Planet to Mars. I do appreciate you. Dubbing the story. Yes, I would love it. I've actually spoken to one of my friends on Instagram about this. I think he seems pretty keen to do a dub of Dragon Ball Rise. So yes, absolutely, you might see that in the near future. Who knows? Alrighty guys, thank you so much for tuning into this Q&A. I hope a lot of your questions were answered, and if your question was missed, I'm so sorry, but we will definitely host another Q&A session like this in the future. So if you want to participate in that, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. Once again, I'll leave the link below, or just comment down below and I'll answer your questions probably in the near future as well in another video. Thank you so much guys, have a great weekend and please stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.